Hello there. In today's video we are going to take a little look through one of my favourite football magazines. Oh look, it's Messi crying. We don't like to see that. Which is World Soccer Magazine. And as usual we'll just take a skim, read titles and read a little bit of the articles. This one's mostly about the World Cup. This is quite a good edition to keep. And there's lots of nice little articles there. Look, we've got Bellingham, England's next captain, it says. We'll read a little bit about that. And now there's Cristiano. There's lots of people crying in this edition. Cristiano crying. Didier Deschamps, the general. And a little bit about all over the world, the Copa Libertadores. We've got River Plate over there, Flamengo there. And yeah, so we'll flick through this and we'll learn all about, as the title of the magazine suggests, World Soccer or World Football. This is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? Okay, so it says World Soccer. We obviously got a nice picture of Rodri there holding the World Cup, giving a little kiss. We've got Mbappe, Bellingham and Messi on the front there. Ultimate World Cup review, it says. And then it's got every goal, every game, expert analysis with the USA celebrating there in front of their home team, or their home fans. It says the complete record of the World Cup, so I'm definitely going to keep this as a keepsake. And we got little Haaland on the top right there, souvenir edition. Yeah, definitely a souvenir. So it's got in the contents with Harry Kane and Bellingham celebrating their goal, World Cup review. So we got in pictures, goals we'd like to see again. That would be quite nice on page 13. Tim Vickery, Lionel Messi's World Cup story, players of the tournament. Henry Winter talking about Jude Bellingham, England's next captain, plus 5 things we learned. Jonathan Wilson talking about Deschamps bowing out and betraying his principles. Interesting. And then it's got all of those. Plus it says, oh yes, it actually goes into the Wales European Under-19 Euros, which happened in the north of my country. I think in Wrexham Stadium during the summer. And we'll talk about who won that. It's not a massive shock. So it's got in pictures, we've got the World Cup, the global game caught on camera. We can see Mikel Merino celebrating here. He was one of the stars of the Spanish team, despite only coming off the bench a couple of times. And it says New York, New Jersey, players of Spain and Argentina react as the whistle blows at the end of the World Cup final. And we can see in Dallas, Lamine Yamal acknowledges Cristiano Ronaldo after Spain knock out Portugal in the round of 16. Brazil players attempt to console Neymar after their last 16 at the defeat at the hands of Norway. Romelu Lukaku cups his ears after scoring in Belgium's victory over the United States in the last 16. In Atlanta, tempers flare in the feisty semi-final tie between England and Argentina. To the bottom we got Kansas City. Braylon Bolo pleads with the referee after VAR intervenes to send the Switzerland striker off in their quarter-final clash versus Argentina. And of course little old Lionel Messi. New York, New Jersey, Lionel Messi watches on as Spain lift the World Cup trophy. Lots more pictures there, including this lovely one. Fans of Norway perform their iconic Viking row celebration during their group stage clash with France. The reign of Spain, La Roja, matched the class of 2010 by adding the World Cup to their European crown. We've got Rodri holding aloft the trophy there. This is the greatest human, social and cultural event mankind has ever witnessed. For this I thank you. One country will be world champion, but the world has already won. America has won, FIFA has won. Gianni Infantino to Donald Trump on the eve of the Goals we'd like to see again, definitely. Sidney Lopez Cabral against Argentina for Cape Verde. As a football spectator, there are few better feelings than seeing a goal live that you know will be replayed for decades. Julian Alvarez was clearly watching as he produced a passable imitation for Argentina in their quarterfinal versus Switzerland. Zico was number 2, Haaland was number 3 against Brazil, Eldor Shomurodov, yeah, that was an absolutely stunning goal for Uzbekistan versus Congo, and Jude against France in that crazy third place match. So, final man of the match was Ferran Torres, young player was Pau Barsi, Golden Glove went to Unai Simon, Golden Ball went to Rodri, and Golden Boot, the only non-Spaniard in the list, Kylian Mbappe, with 10 goals, can you believe it? Messi's World Cup story. In the race between the athlete and time, there is only ever one winner. Lionel Messi's World Cup career appears to be over after a rollercoaster ride of highs and lows representing Argentina. Appears to be over. He hasn't said anything yet. It's a nice picture down here of a younger Messi. 2006 World Cup, Messi scored his first World Cup goal versus Serbia and Montenegro. And Argentina were managed by Diego Maradona in South Africa. It's the two wonderful number 10s there together. Players of the tournament, we just spoke about those, but including Jude Bellingham, Michael Olise, Marco Cucurella. I don't disagree with any of these. Aymeric Laporte, Pedro Porro, Lionel Messi, Haaland, Mbappe up front. Have they put in their team? So Simon in goals, Laporte and Cumarsi in the back, Porro, Cucurella, so all Spaniards. They conceded 1 goal in the entire tournament. Rodri midfield, Olise, Bellingham, Crikey, Messi, Haaland and Mbappe. Yes, that probably is about right. There's a couple of honourable mentions, like if they talked about Vozinha, yeah they have. And Hakimi, I think he's superb. Cristian Romero, Pico Lopez here. Jed Spence, I thought he had a fantastic tournament. Enzo Fernandez, Dani Olmo was in my team, to be honest. Martin Odegaard, Leandro Trossard, Ismail Assar, Julian Quiñones of Mexico, definitely. Doesn't know how to score a boring goal, does he? Harry Kane, Dembele, and Yamal. Team by team. Oh, it's got South Korea, Czech Republic. Yes, was literally goes through every single team. South Korea haven't opened the group stage, one of the most encouraging performances, agreed. Coming back from 1-0 down to defeat the Czech Republic, South Korea ended it in the most disappointing fashion, agreed. That win included a nicely taken goal from Hwang In-bom, which in its own way was one of the standard goals of the group stage. The problem was the 2 goals in that game were the only ones they scored, and a shock defeat to South Africa meant they didn't have enough to qualify among the top 8 third-placed teams. Now, breakout star Elijah Just, which my team Swansea have just signed, which is brilliant. There's all Bielsa having a nervous breakdown. Yeah, Diamond is sort of going to Real Madrid, as far as I can understand. Last World Cup for Edin Dzeko, you'd say so, and Luka Modric. There's Vozinha, who's just gone to Colo Colo in Chile. There's the man himself, tearful exit for Cristiano Ronaldo. Canada were knocked out in Houston, such a stupid rule that they couldn't play all their games at home. What other tournament would you be a host and have to play in the neighbouring country? I just think it should have been set up that no matter what happened, they should have always played at home. And then Houston, Texas, you know, it's like one of the furthest away places you could have gotten. The Mexico national team in the Azteca, the wonderful Azteca Stadium. There's Egypt, look, with Zico celebrating just before his goal was ruled out, but then he scored again later anyway. And you've got the World Cup's all-time top scorer, Kylian Mbappe. Third place for Bukayo Saka. Silver medalist for Messi. His magic ran out in the final. I just think that it's all to do with Spanish defending. Not the defence, but the overall defending. And then it's got basically all of the matches, like telling you all of the results and what happened, and then it's fantastic. So this Group B. To each, Brian Proby and Cody Gakpo. G, Group H, yet another save. Vozinha keeps the ball out. 2-goal hero Mikel Oyarzabal. Group I, overpowered Haaland bullies Zaid Tahsin. Group J, Messi again. Argentina players celebrate with their captain. And then match winner Daniel Munoz for Colombia in Group K. Poor start, Ronaldo disappointed. Luis Diaz decisive. Group L, captains tussle, Modric versus Kane. And then the round of 32. Round of 16, the dark arts. Kylian Mbappe is pushed by Juan José Cáceres. World Cup dream over, a dejected Malik Tillman. Quarterfinals, then the semi-finals, and then the final and the third place playoff. Record breaker Mbappe scores his 22nd World Cup goal. That's insane, isn't it? Winning goal, Ferran Torres lashes the ball into the Argentina net. So it says, Jude Bellingham, England's next captain. You can definitely see that, can't you? Jude Bellingham should be the next captain of England. He's not just established in the team for the next decade, he's embedded in it. The strength of his character and his abilities make him absolutely essential. At just 23 years old, he's already passed 50 caps and played at 4 major international tournaments. That's insane. He's respected by teammates and feared by opponents. Above all, the Real Madrid man possesses an intense winning mindset that should set the tone in the England dressing room. That is a major factor. When Bale moved to Real Madrid, we then qualified as a country, Wales, for our first tournament in like 50 years. And everyone said, I got the documentary about it afterwards on DVD, basically everyone said it's because Bale would come in and go, no, we win, we're not here to make up numbers, we're here to qualify and we're here to win. And they said to him, you know, when have you booked your holidays? When we qualified for Euro 2016, and he was like, well, the week after the final. And they sort of laughed at him and they said, well, you're not going to make it to the final. And he was like, why not? So that's the mentality you need to walk in with. Defensive Deschamps ignored his instincts. After 14 years as a cautious coach of France, Didier Deschamps abandoned his principles when he needed them most. It's a bit harsh. I don't agree with that, Jonathan Wilson. Nothing became Didier Deschamps' time as France manager less well than the leaving of it. He had been France head coach for 14 years. He had imposed a vital discipline on a country whose players hadn't always demonstrated it. He reached 5 major tournament semi-finals and won the 2018 World Cup, and yet the question was always, whether he had wasted two of the greatest generations of players any country has ever produced back-to-back, whether his instinctive caution had ended up costing France. In the semi-final against Spain, though, he arguably wasn't offensive enough. People are never happy, are they? The World Cup in numbers, 23. The Netherlands have now won 23 World Cup games without losing in normal time. This is something I referenced the other day in a video. A run that stretches back to 2010, an all-time record. Because basically, the Netherlands don't lose unless they lose on penalties. And since penalties are recorded officially as draws, it means that the Netherlands haven't lost a match for 16 years at the World Cup. Yeah, I laugh, but it's like I'm laughing because it's so tragic. They like, I would love to see them win something. They're such an amazing team, but it's such Dutch luck that they would do that. Giants and minnows. We're on to the Copa Libertadores now. The knockout stage is a combination of heavyweight contenders and rising underdogs. The rematch between Independiente Rivadavia of Argentina topped Group C ahead of Fluminense. Wow. Highlight of the last 16, Flamengo of Brazil will face Cruzeiro in an all-Brazilian tie. So the last 16 of the Copa Libertadores, we can see Estudiantes against Universidad Católica, Mirassol against Quito, Fluminense against Independiente, Tolima against Independiente del Valle of Ecuador, Cruzeiro against Flamengo, Platense against Coquimbo Unido, Palmeiras against Cerro Porteño, Rosario Central against Corinthians. And then the Copa Sudamérica, they're sort of the next one down there, Europa League if you will. Boca against O'Higgins or Recoleta, Sporting Cristal against Red Bull or Atlético Mineiro, that's my team in Brazil, Lanús or Cienciano against Botafogo, Independiente Medellín against Vasco da Gama or Olimpia of Paraguay, Santa Fe or Caracas take on River Plate, Nacional or Tigre take on Montevideo, and Universidad Central or Santos take on Macará. Lastly, Bolívar or Grêmio take on Sao Paulo. I wonder if we'll have the same as usual, which is a Brazilian team winning the Copa Libertadores and a non-Brazilian team winning the Sudamericana, usually Argentinian. Reception to League's Cup remains lukewarm. Mexico will host matches in the MLS Liga MX tournament for the first time, but the competition is still yet to convince. Oh yeah, so this is the competition between the USA's MLS and the Liga MX, which has always really been in the US, and the Mexican teams don't tend to do that well in it. OFC Champions League faces its latest challenge. The Oceania Football Confederation's continental competition resumes amid doubts over its future. The draw is Group A, Auckland, Central Coast, AS Venus and Tiga Sport, and Group B, Rewa, Ley City, ABM Galaxy and Tupapa Maraerenga, I believe it's pronounced. And then on the radar, so this, oh yes, Kevin Keegan, bless him. 12 moves you might have missed. Slaven Bilic, where's he gone? Following, oh, he's gone to Croatia. He's the new manager. Massimiliano Allegri, we've talked about him going to Napoli before, all the changes. Big Ange has gone to Al Nassr. Oh yes. So retiring from international football is Sadio Mane and Riyad Mahrez. And Santi Cazorla has retired altogether after Real Oviedo were relegated. Now, I thought he was going to talk about the Under-19s tournament in Wales, but Spain won it. Wales got, as hosts, got absolutely trounced in the group stages, but never mind. We hosted it, so I'm really proud of us. Did I miss it somewhere? Wales, page 87. Oh, I see. It's just basically this bit here. Oh, yes, the European Under-19 Championship Special. Just like one page. Just talking about the next best players coming. Okay, cool. I hope you enjoyed the video. As ever, if you did, then why don't you give it a little like for me, leave a comment on any of the things we've spoken about today, and if you're new to the channel, click subscribe. I've got a whole playlist of me going through football magazines, so check that out if you really enjoyed today and you want more. It's something that I think I'm going to do a little bit more often this coming year, this new season, so let me know if you're a fan of that idea. I want to sort of put this more into a regular, once a month, sort of regular video this year if I can, and not as sporadic as previous years. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you again very soon.